guys. Hello. All right. I want you to lean in. We're going to talk today about your imagination and frequency. And you may not have heard of these two beautiful things. Maybe you have. Maybe you think you know. I used to think like, oh, I know what my imagination is. I know how to use it. But if you were an adult, you're probably kidding yourself. You are not using your imagination at all. Likely you're still at the point where you were like, well, I used my imagination as a child. Surely that's good enough. That's what we do as adults, right? But today I want to talk about specifically what these two things are and how you can use them now, not just when you were getting results as a kid, right? Like think about all the progression you had between the ages of newborn to 10. Think of all the new things you learned. You learned how to walk, talk, ride a bike, to deal with situations, to whatever. You learned about a ton of stuff. And then you got too cool for school and you stopped using it. So we're not going to do that anymore. Okay. I want you to pay attention first to your frequency. Okay. So what is your frequency? Your frequency is your state that you're in. It's your vibe. It's a level of vibration. And there's different levels and they're kind of hooked up to one another. Okay. But frequency, it's a level of vibration. And the law of vibration actually says there's a universal law of vibration. The whole world runs by it. It says that everything is moving, nothing rests. Everything appears to be my water bottle. It appears to be resting. It's not. You looked at it under a microscope. It's made up of lots of different things that are vibrating. Your skin, you as a human, you are constantly vibrating. You're not resting. Okay, so what happens is we have these different frequencies and everything is moving so fast and it appears to be still. But every frequency, like I said, it's hooked up to one above or below. There's no line of separation. And Bob Proctor, he said, there is a place that you can bring yourself to. And he says, don't ever let it fade. Because when your mind goes there and you make up your mind that it's going to stay there, this is the place where you can get anything that you want. He goes, I don't care what the thought is. Doesn't matter what the image is. If your mind can go there, you can then physically go there. Like if you can hold it in your mind, if you can put the image in your mind, that is step one to them being able to hold it in your hand. Okay, but the jumping happens with our imagination. Like your imagination, you guys, it is probably one of the greatest miracles given to every single human being. And if you forget what it's like, honestly, whether you have kids living in your house or a neighbor or a niece or a nephew or grandchild, whatever it is, go watch them. Go watch them. They're geniuses. They're geniuses. They have an idea and then they create it. My kids are constantly doing science experiments because they have an idea. And that's what science is, right? You have an idea, a hypothesis, and then you go to prove it. And that's what they do. But at some point you had a thought in your mind that said, when you try new things, it doesn't work out. So why try them anyways? Or you have no time to try new things. You're too busy. Trying new things costs money. You're not worthy of trying new things. Whatever it is, the story that you have in your head that's totally crashed your confidence in using your imagination. But your imagination, it's one of your higher faculties. And it's like the greatest thing that you possess. And the fact that you're a human being tells me that you have one. You just haven't used it. It's powerful. It literally allows you to create something out of nothing. The phone you're watching this on or the computer screen, that was once an idea that someone had in their mind And then they held that thought until it became a thing. Like, did you ever think, like, I mean, I'm a child of the 80s. I would have never thought that I could have taken my Commodore 64 or whatever was in my dining room, hook it up to the World Wide Web. Remember the noise hooking up to the internet used to make? I can't even make it right now. But you know what I mean? Like, picture if you would have said back in the 80s, one day they're going to take that Commodore 64 and you're going to be able to hold it in your hand and you're going to be able to hook up to the internet, not by a cord and by pressing login. You're going to have a thing called Wi-Fi. You're going to have data plans. You're going to be able to do it from anywhere in the world. That would have been like, what? That's nuts. But someone created it. Someone had an idea, they used their imagination, and then the law of attraction kicks in, right? You start attracting in all the people that know about all the things. And this is where everybody thinks, oh, I need all this education to do the things. Your people, like your Henry Fords, they had zero education. And in like a court of law, they even tried to prove that Henry Ford was incompetent. And he told the whole court, he was just like, I don't need to know everything about everything. I just need to have that be connected with all the people that know what I need to know. And he totally changed the way we travel here on Earth by creating motor vehicles, having a thought in his mind, and then he held it there. Okay. So anything that you want in your mind, I want you to assume if you have an idea, I want you to assume automatically that it's yours. Just play around with it. I want you to say, okay, I've had this idea. It must be mine. Why else would I have been given it? But it allows you to then create and move that idea forward, where you can start with an idea and then turn something non-physical into something physical. Okay, but when we use our imaginations, we create things, we create experiences and circumstances. But most often we use it to like imagine things that we don't want to happen. My daughter was even doing that the other night. Well, when I say this, then they'll say this, and then I'll say this, and she's totally creating these stories around something that hasn't even happened. She's imaging something she doesn't want to happen. Shut that down real quick. Okay, your thoughts are things. Your mind doesn't know the difference between something that's physically in front of you or something that you've imagined. It doesn't know the difference. Before I decided to move to Barbados, I envisioned this, an ocean behind me. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I held it in my mind. That's my job. And to stay on the frequency of that image. Either way, you guys, the law of attraction is going to kick in. You want to know why you have or don't have everything that you want? It's because you have failed to hold the image. That's it. The people that have the things that you want, it's because they persisted and accepted ideas that you've been rejecting this whole time. And that's okay. Forgive yourself. Say, yep, up until now, I've been rejecting images that I should have been accepting. Make a decision now moving forward to do that. The key is to learn to use your imagination to create the experiences that you want most in your life, and never, ever, 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 ever think about what you don't want. You keep thinking about what you don't want, you're going to continue to get what you don't want. Promise you. Like, when was the last time you just allowed yourself to daydream? Right? And when I say daydreaming, I mean like intentional dreaming versus like when I go to bed. And I don't care if you can now picture your grade 3 school teacher telling you to get your head out of the clouds. I want you to get your head in the clouds. Whatever you dream up for your life is going to eventually become your reality. But if you decide to keep these thoughts and visions at the forefront of your mind, this is how it's done. But our ways of thinking, they're like frequencies. And we can either go to where everything's happening that we want or not. But we all have the power to choose our thoughts. We all have this power, no matter what your circumstances are. Ideas can also get kind of put away pretty quickly because we believe that they are unachievable. And you're always going to get what you believe every single time. But if you can hold that vision, that image of whatever it is that you want happening, right? Like never, guys, never talk about, don't even entertain what you don't want. Okay, whatever you believe created this entire universe, doesn't matter what you believe. Either way, something came from nothing, right? So then we, as humans, were created and we were given these tools. Now it's up to us to develop the tools. You can give me a hammer, but if I don't know how to use it, what good is it? So you've been given an imagination, the ability to visualize. 2% of people actually do it. They actually do it. Whenever a person, though, forms a thought or an idea in their mind, they are forming an image that corresponds with that thought. Like we think in pictures. If I said to you right now, close your eyes and tell me what color your car is, you would flash to your car and tell me what color your car is. Okay, now tell me, what color is your front door? Oh, now I can see my front door. Okay, does it open to the left or to the right? Oh, it opens to the left. Like this is what we do. We think in pictures, in images. So it's called imagination. Right? I can't say the word boat to you without the picture of a boat coming into your mind. But if you're a baby, and my girls are 8 and 10 right now, and I'll say a word and they'll say, Mom, what does that word mean? Because they want an image. They don't have an image yet in their mind of what that means. So the very first time they saw a boat and I said, oh, that's a boat. And now they know that's a boat. Okay, you're thinking in pictures constantly. So doesn't it make sense? This is happening anyways. So doesn't it make sense to have a picture in your mind of what you actually want and hold that picture there? Even if someone else can't see the picture. So like before the phone was created, nobody else could see the picture. I know I wouldn't have been able to. You're going to take my Commodore 64 and I'm going to be able to hold it in my hand, travel around with it, carry it in my purse. How does that work? But that's the thing, you guys. It is not up to anybody else to be able to see your image. It's up to you to see your image. It's up to you to be able to hold your image. It's up to you to know where you're going and what you want. But we spend so much time asking everybody else what they think we should be doing, or assuming that this is what they want me to be doing, so that's what I'm going to do. They're not living your life. So why are you letting them imagine your future? But either way, what you think about is what's going to come into your reality. And we all have the power to choose our thoughts to live a better life. Either way, everything is vibrating. It has a frequency. But this also means that you can decide to go to the higher frequency, even to the lower frequency. because you have this energy flowing to and through your consciousness, and it's omnipresent. The same energy that's flowing to and through me is flowing to and through you, to and through Beyonce, to and through Oprah. It's to and through my cup. Okay? It's all the same energy source. And you can take that power that's flowing to and through you and create a thought with it. If you're using another one of your higher faculties, your intuition, that's like next level game changer again. But even knowing this, so many people are out there thinking about things of stuff that they don't want. Some of them are just like obsessed with it. They're obsessed. Okay, but what I want you to do is when you find something that you want, use your imagination to grow it, to give it life. Because it's a seed that's now planted. And just like any seed, if it's not watered, given some sunlight, it's not going to grow. Makes sense, right? I can't take an acorn, put it in my pocket, and expect an oak tree to pop out from it. Those seeds, physical seeds, are tapping into the energy source as well, because it's flowing everywhere constantly. Like if I take an acorn and I crack it open, there's no oak tree in there. If I take a carrot seed and crack it open, there's no carrot in there. Your thought is a seed as well. And your imagination, this high frequency, it's like fertilizer. Makes it grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And before you know it, you've created something out of nothing. So when you have a strong desire to be, do, and have something, know that the feeling is going to put you on a frequency. And the moment you reject it, something that belongs to you, you'll feel it. But most people are so in the habit, and they will follow it up by alibis and excuses and all the reasons on why you can't pursue that. It's going to be too much time and money are the biggest things on why people are not pursuing and keeping themselves on the frequency. Two biggest excuses that I hear people have all the time. Yet, when you ask them that they want, I want time freedom and I want financial freedom. So what do you want? Do you want to use time and money? You want more time and money, or you want to use them as an excuse? Like, what's it going to be? It's not both. That's for sure. And a lot of people think that they're saving themselves time and money by just going and buying a lottery ticket, but that's not sustainable either. Okay? When these ideas are in your mind, you have two choices. You can keep it alive and let your imagination flow, or you can dismiss them and remain stuck in fear. So who is ready to trust the perfection that lies within them? Because it's yours. It's already done. You already have it. I'm not saying, here, buy this box of imagination, $9.99. It's all yours. You have it already. Here's a can of frequency for $7.49. No, you already have access to it. You already have access to it. It's done. You're just not using it. You're going to keep these things alive, but you're doing it through your thinking. And you're having like thousands of thoughts in a day. I want you to take a minute just right now. And I want you to give absolute gratitude to the people that did not give up on their ideas and use their imagination. You wouldn't have a phone right now if someone did that. You wouldn't have the computer you're on. Maybe you wouldn't have got the education that you got. Appreciate the people who had the great ideas, and then the fact that they trusted their idea enough to act on them, to pursue it. Okay, we all have life-changing ideas inside of us that are waiting to come to life. But too often we stop nurturing them and they die within us. Right? I could have kept working at the hospital and let the idea of working outside of it fade away. How easy would that have been? Super safe. Got me a 6-figure cushy government job, all the trimmings. I could have easily let it fade, but I didn't. I had to feed the idea and face the fear and take action. And you can try to accomplish your dream as well. And you don't need permission from anybody else to do it. It's yours. Be part of the 2% that has an idea and pursues it. Your environment's everything. And we actually have a 2% club of people that this is exactly what we do. We do the work together. We identify our purpose. We identify our goals, and we hold the vision. And we do what needs to be done in order to get there. But it's a group of like-minded people just like you. Next week, I'm actually having a 5-day workshop, Awaken Abundance. I want you guys to come. If you're like, I need to understand this a little bit more, it's every day from 10 to 11 Eastern. Right here. Actually, register and you'll get the Zoom link and the workbook and all the goods. You are not going to find anything like this anywhere else. But I want you to understand that this life that you have created up until now, it's 100% about you. But what I want to dig out of you is that idea of what it is you actually want. Even if you're like, I don't know, my life's pretty sweet right now. It can always be sweeter. And you're human. You always are going to want more, constantly. You could be happy with your life, but never be satisfied. Never be satisfied. I can't wait to see you guys next week at Awaken Abundance. Thank you for joining me today. Today, I want you to really challenge yourself. How can I capture that image of what it is that I want? And what can I do to keep myself on the frequency to get it? Because that's how it happens. Have an awesome day, you guys.